I don't know if you all realize this, but when the Stardust Racers incident happened, which was tragic and sad, not saying anything about what happened or the family's outreach there to Universal, that was all eventually settled out of court. They called in an attorney, though, that raised a lot of eyebrows here in the theme park community. Well, that same attorney, Mr. Ben Crump, is back. This from That Park Place by Chamley. Family of guests who died after writing Revenge of the Mummy hires attorney Ben Crump. Well, here we go. The family of a 70-year-old woman who died after riding Revenge of the Mummy roller coaster at Universal Studios Florida has retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump to represent them, as they seek answers about the circumstances surrounding her death. Ma de la Luz Meja Rosas became unresponsive while riding Revenge of the Mummy, an indoor dark coaster at Universal Studios Florida on November 25th, 2025, according to a quarterly injury report issued. Issued by the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. She was taken to a local hospital and died on December 9th, 2025. That's more than a week later. A report from the Orange County Medical Examiner determined that Rosas died from a ruptured aneurysm without trauma, indicating there was no evidence of blunt force or physical injury linked to the ride itself. The medical examiner's findings were publicly released January of 2026, this month. An office representing Rosa's family said they hired Crump to pursue transparency about what happened before, during, and after the ride, and they're seeking information on the ride's operations, safety protocols, maintenance history, and other incident data that could illuminate the sequence of events. Universal Orlando Resort has not issued a detailed statement about Rosas' death beyond routine safety reporting requirements. A spokesman for Universal declined to comment when asked about ongoing legal inquiries. So let's start here. I've never ridden Revenge of the Mummy. It's never been active while I've been at the parks. I switched from Disney to Universal a few years back. Very pleased with that decision. But since then, for some reason, Revenge of the Mummy is always down, or it just doesn't work out for me to ride that ride. Have either of you ridden it?
Many times. Yes. Many times. I love that ride.
Is it intense?
It's not really that intense. It's a different kind of a coaster experience. It's very dark, all indoors, but it is. You go through several different. What do you call them, MJ? Like, there's different scenes.
It's like scenes, right? And then you stop, and it's
the coaster's doing different things. So like, there's some experiences where you kind of just sitting there, and like that, like there's this thing where like the scarabs, the bugs are coming out, and they do something in the car to make it feel like they're on you. Like,
it's really cool.
And then there's a fire scene.
The fire scene,
and it really only becomes a coaster for like, I want to say, 30 seconds or something at the end, like a legit coaster.
Okay.
It gives you it stops, and then it jolts you. It's very similar. It doesn't go upside down, but it's pretty similar to the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster, just a smidge.
Okay.
It's
the Rock and Roller Coaster, it's like after you start, it's a coaster throughout, like you're going upside down.
Yeah.
But this one has a lot of like parts where you pause and you get immersed in the scene, like if you're in the movie.
Right.
It's really
there's
cool.
a lot of one of the best things that they did with the Mummy is it really does tell a story. Like you feeling a sense of a story, like you have been through an experience when you get off of the Mummy, and that's
You're
one of the things I like about it. It is 1,000% different than having gone on the stupid Fast and Furious ride that, thank goodness, is going away.
Yes. So so this is not a particularly violent or intense roller coaster, is what I'm hearing from y'all.
It goes a little. There's a jolt. There's some speed.
There's a couple of jolts, but I would say that the intensity comes more from the storytelling, because there are some scary moments in it that if you if you're prone to react badly to like jump scares, for example, it could be a bad thing, especially
jump
like
scares on a roller coaster. Okay, so it sounds more dark ride here. So Revenge of the Mummy, obviously been there for a while, but here let's talk about Mr. Ben Crump. The decision to retain Crump follows public attention to another fatal incident involving Universal Orlando. In September of 2025, Kevin Rodriguez Zavala, 32, died after riding the Stardust Racers roller coaster. This is quibbling about words here. Died after riding. I think he passed away while riding, but I can understand the choice of words here on this one. Crump is widely known for representing families in high-profile civil rights and wrongful death cases. His involvement signals the family's intention to pursue a thorough review of available information. Do you all remember what happened in some of the press conferences around the Stardust Racers incident? And we were very careful not to cover the Stardust Racers incident until there were specific things to cover, because there was a lot of blame being pushed on either side. They said, oh, well, the young man was not in any shape that he should have been riding the ride, or Universal was supposedly in a bad spot for forcing these rides to open, even though this had not gone to trial yet, and things like that. We were very careful not to put blame on either side, although I was fairly confident that Universal was being careful with their safety procedures, and maybe there was something that happened out of the normal parameters that day. Do you all remember the incident with Ben Crump in his press conference talking about this ride?
Stardust Racers, or the
sorry, Stardust Racers. There hasn't been a press conference here yet.
I don't remember it exactly. I just know
they were on a platform. It was him and another woman, and I think it was like a press conference. I think. Yeah.
So in that press conference, somebody asked about Mr. Zavala's condition and asked if it could have contributed in any way. And there was this bizarre answer where he just kind of acted like that. There was no possible way that the man's condition could have been involved. It turns out from some of the reports that it most likely was the man's condition, and that maybe family members had encouraged him in some way to go ahead and, have his fun. I can understand why someone would say that. But Crump was out there and acting incredulous about he wanted inspections on the ride, even though there had been three separate inspections on the ride. He wanted his own inspection. So, okay, I'm sorry, the three that were already done were not satisfactory. He did a press conference in which he refused to, he acted like it was ridiculous to consider the unusual state of the rider in this case. So he was also a guy who represented George Floyd back in the day, the family of George Floyd back in the day. So I'm trying very hard not to say something unkind or legally actionable about a lawyer, but I think this fella is probably not the kind of fella that lends credence to the case of the person who is going after someone else.
He's the one who has been called on in pretty much all of these high profile anything against a ride cases. For example, I think it was back in March of 2022 at Icon Park, there was that tragic accident with the 14-year-old boy from, I think he was from St. Louis, actually, is where I'm from. He represented that family. Recently, there was a $310 million settlement against the manufacturer of that attraction. That attraction, of course, has been taken down. It does not exist in Orlando anymore. But my point being, if I imagine that anytime any of this stuff happens, Crump may be the one who contacts the families rather than the families contacting Crump. I could be wrong, and I don't know. I can only speculate that. But it just seems like with his name popping up in literally every single one of these cases, there's definitely something going on there. And why is there no other attorney who, is possibly involved here? And, I don't really, it's a little odd to me. I'm like, is there not enough work to go around?
I think there may be an opportunity there, and I don't want to speculate too much on why someone would be present when there are large multi-billion-dollar companies that might get sued for something. MJ, what do you think about all this? Wrap us up here.
Yeah, so you guys know I'm an advocate for people with disabilities, and I try to be very careful with these kind of topics because they're very delicate. And there's people mourning a death out there. They have lost a loved one, a family member, whatnot, a friend. But I just feel like if you are if you're visiting a theme park or anywhere in the world, it's private property. Not only do you need to adhere to the regulations and signage, but you also need to be with people that are going to look out for the welfare of you if you're not capable of doing it yourself. Me, I'm cognitive enough to read the signage, and if I feel uncomfortable, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to take that risk. Something might happen to me. You guys go, and I'll wait here for you, and I'll find something fun to do. You know, I just feel as if things just, they're investigating. They're going to see, the maintenance and whatnot. But these rides have been around for a long time. I think the Mummy has been fully functioning for about 15 years, maybe more. Okay.
Yeah.
So we could tie it up. Okay. So how many injuries and deaths have occurred? I just feel like because there are I'm pretty sure there's regulations where there's being inspections made, even though it's private property, it's a theme park, individuals are going in there, they're checking the mechanics of things. The, engineers they have to go through, all of these steps have to be taken place. I don't understand how this can continue to happen. It's unfortunate because no one wants to lose anyone. It's not okay. But you're taking it the minute you step on a ride vehicle and there is signage in the Mummy ride. So you're taking that responsibility, and you're signing a contract when you purchase your ticket. There has to be accountability and responsibility somewhere.
Right.
And it's just, and again, I advocate all the time for people. Everyone with a disability should be able to enjoy a theme park, but know your limits, know what you're capable of doing. If you're not cognitive, the people in your party should be able to help you choose and decide what rides are best for you to enjoy your day. And not every time it has to be a ride. There's other things to do in the theme park other than just rides.
That's a very good way to put it. And to end this on a slightly brighter note here, we'll be watching the trial, or it probably will end up with a settlement. But in this, I think there's actually a chance that this entire ride will be revamped and become something updated with the Mummy 4 that Brendan Fraser is apparently signed on for here.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.